You've got an announcement on a new phone. Tell me about that and what you're looking to, quote unquote, correct here.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Maria, more and more we're using technology as a company, right, to correct the problems. Obviously, Truth Social was to correct freedom of speech, right? I mean, he lost his throughout the political process. Obviously, crypto, and we got the biggest projects in crypto, was to correct another problem, which is the fact that they were debanking all conservatives. I was the most canceled person probably in the history of the country. And now we're doing Trump Mobile, and Trump Mobile is going to revolutionize cell phones, mobile calling. We're going to do it better. We're going to do it safer. We're going to have more functionality, more features. And the coolest thing about all these ventures is we're doing it right here in the United States. You're not calling up call centers in Bangladesh. You're not, you're doing it right out of St. Louis, Missouri, and you're going to have phones that are made right here in the United States of America, and it's going to be cheaper, $47 a month. You're going to have more international dialing for free, hundreds of countries, international dialing for free. It is the biggest bang for the buck, and we're really excited to get into the space. I mean, when you take kind of technology, obviously real estate's always been our bread and butter, but when you take the technology world between the social platforms, the actual hard devices, which is really what Trump Mobile is, and then kind of the true retail banking, CeFi, DeFi, worlds of cryptocurrency, which is no question where the world is going. I really believe we're going to have one of the great kind of tech platforms as part of the Trump organization of any company in the world, and I couldn't be more proud of Trump Mobile.
So what I found very interesting about that is a lot of people probably haven't thought about it, haven't realized that the Trump kids are still out there doing business. Still out there making it happen. Still putting the Trump name out there, despite all the nuts who thought they had stopped the Trump organization, and he just keeps coming. They just keep coming with ideas. And will it work? I don't know. I just commend them on the fact that they're taking an investment. They're doing exactly what I tell you to do. Start looking at different opportunities. They looked at an opportunity and like, wait a second, everybody's tech support is over in Bangladesh. No, we don't want that. We're trying to advise people to create stuff here in America. Yeah, we do that. We're going to get a tax break on our own stuff. We're not stupid. And what's something has there's a term in business called TAM. And what TAM is, let me just go off script here. TAM is something that any one of you looking to start a business, you need to know. A TAM means total addressable market. Best way I can phrase that is when I was looking at doing YouTube and I wanted to start a channel, I was doing the Miami Dolphins. And I realized after about 6 months, I'm like, hey man, I've kind of plateaued. And that's because the TAM, the total addressable market of Miami Dolphins fans, wasn't that big. You either lived in Miami or you had some sort of affection for the Miami Dolphins, but it was like this big. And I'm like, what could I do different that has a bigger TAM, total addressable market? Oh, Trump had like 80 million votes. Bam. Huge total addressable market. So they're looking at the same thing. What is a product I can bring to market based on our resources and our investment capacity that has a huge total addressable market? Oh, cell phones. That is a monstrous TAM. Everybody is walking around in some way, shape, or form with one of these. And this one happens to be from Samsung. It's an Android. Maybe you're sitting there with an iPhone. Both of those, well, iPhone's starting to move their production into the United States, but for the most part, they're foreign-made phones. And everyone's looking for that niche. And they're like, wait a second, how many people are making phones here in America? And they're like, this is something where we could basically go after the TAM, a large total addressable market. And it's a business model that you guys can begin looking at. Obviously, you're not going to have the investment capacity. Well, I'm not going to say obvious. You probably don't have the investment capital and resources to launch a cell phone company, but you still can look at TAM, even TAM in your local area. I don't know, I want to clean office floors, and I want to start an office cleaning venture. Okay, what's the size of the market in your specific area? Well, there's probably, 500,000 square feet of office space, and that might be a little bit too small. Well, within 20 miles, there's 3 million square feet of office space. That's a different story. How far are you willing to travel? I could go 20 miles to, if I had enough accounts. There you go. And so you start looking at these things, and that's what the Trump organization has done. People can scream. People can bitch. They can whine. They can say all these different things. But you know what? It's not like he's making funky paintings and then selling it for $500,000. It's an actual product. Could it go bust like Trump University? Absolutely it could. Big difference. Trump University was a name rights basis. They didn't really own it. They're actually going to create the phones. Could they make money? Well, I don't know what their investment's going to be. But based on a TAM, the total addressable market, it sure could make some good money. And then what's good money to them and what's good money to me or you might be different. But it's residual. How do you know it's residual? Because they're paying monthly. Somebody's paying $50 a month for however. I mean, God knows how much I paid here. I bought the phone, for $1,000? And now I pay with this phone, that phone, and the third phone here, and Robin's phone. We're probably paying altogether $400 a month in mobile carriage. Yeah, it's worth it. And you have that forever. I mean, I pay $400 a month. I've had these phones and I keep replacing them. So probably that's $5,000 a year that I'm paying, AT&T. Think about that. And so he's going to be doing it at $48 a month, and that could make them a lot of money depending upon everything else that they have to do. I can't even imagine the infrastructure you need to put in place to not just make the phone. This is Samsung. Samsung isn't a carrier. My carrier is AT&T. They're going to make the phone, and I think they're going to provide the carriage. Huge undertaking. I mean, just monstrous undertaking. Let's listen to, do I have this? Hold on. As Don and Eric talk about it here, because you can't complain. They're trying. They're out there. They're trying to make money.
Great to have everyone back here on Trump Tower on this very fateful day, 10 years later. A lot has happened since then, and we're here to announce something pretty special. We've been working for a long time trying to deliver for the American people, for doing something unique for people who'd been underserved. And today we're here to introduce Trump Mobile. We've partnered with some of the greatest people in the industry to make sure that real Americans can get true value from their mobile carriers. A big part of what we've done right now in the world has been focused on technology for people who have been underserved, whether that's been in crypto or anything else. But one of the places where we felt there was lackluster performance was in the mobile industry. And so with Trump Mobile, we're going to be introducing an entire package of products that people can come, they can get telemedicine on their phone for one flat monthly fee, roadside assistance in their cars, unlimited texting to 100 countries around the world. And we've partnered with some of the best to really bring something unique to the American people. So,
Well, thank you very much, everybody. And on behalf of Don and I, and really everybody in the Trump organization, we have a lot of our employees here today. We couldn't be more excited about this venture. This year has really been a year of technology. Don and I have spent so much of our time in that. We're building the greatest hotels on Earth. We're building the greatest golf course on Earth. But we're also spending a lot of time in the technology field. Everybody knows what we've done in crypto. I think we've got the greatest projects in crypto, and more our company is evolving into various sectors. And but there is kind of a key to that, and that is America, right? I mean, the fact that all your customer service will be done in America. It's going to be done in St. Louis, Missouri. I hope I was allowed to give that out. And making phones in America. It's about time we bring products back to our great country, and it's about time we disrupt this space. And between really the three gentlemen here, again, hundreds of years in the mobile space, they know the world better than anybody, and we couldn't be more excited about this partnership. So, guys, to an extremely fun and successful venture, to one that's all American, based here in America with an American family. we're going to have a lot of fun doing this for years and years to come. So on behalf of myself, the Trump Organization, Don, obviously, the entire family, thank you guys. We look forward to it, and some amazing things to come. There's a lot of things that we're not even mentioning on the stage right now, which we're going to be announcing in the next couple weeks and months, but couldn't be more excited to be doing this with you.
Fantastic.
So when you think about that, what he just said, there are a couple things that I like to hone in on, even when I'm doing my own business stuff. Be a disruptor. Too many people just like to go along with things, instead of looking from the outside and going, what if I bust in here? What if I kick the front door in here and do something different? Would people like that? And it's funny because one of the biggest disruptors I can remember in my lifetime, Robin and I were in the pool yesterday having a great Father's Day. And one of the biggest disruptors, because she's got her cell phone by the pool and she's keying in music into the speaker. And I'm like, you still have these phones? I mean, you still have this music? And she's like, I still have every single song. What she's talking about is whenever it was, I don't know, 15, 16 years ago, whenever Napster came out, and Napster came on the scene, and those of you who don't remember, Napster came out, and we all just went nuts, downloading for free as many of the songs that we wanted to hear, songs we love, songs that, I mean, this phone, the second phone, has so many songs on it that came from Napster. Crazy from Napster. You guys who don't remember it, about 15 years ago, there was this program. They called it P2P, peer-to-peer. And with this peer-to-peer program, you could basically bypass record stores and bypass all kinds of stores and just download whatever list I had on a computer. So you could just search a song and like, boom, and you could download it. Even with the slower bandwidth back then, people went nuts. I remember sitting in an office with Robin, and she worked in our real estate office, and we had like 8 people, and I'm like, you guys got to stop me, actually do some work. They were just in there downloading songs. Napster completely disrupted the entirety of the music industry. Then they got sued, and people said, oh, you guys can't move around, trade your own songs. That's illegal. You bought the album. You have it, but you can't trade it. Interesting. And then a few years later, all of a sudden comes Spotify and Sirius and everything else. But those of us who were back during the Napster days remember being able to do it. It completely disrupted the industry. And you could probably go through your mind and think of industries that were disrupted. FedEx, UPS, disrupted the Postal Service, to the point where the Postal Service can't even compete with the two of them anymore. How about, I don't know, Amazon started out as a bookstore and completely disrupted e-commerce. How about, let me think here, Airbnb/Vrbo completely disrupted the hotel industry. And then, of course, Uber completely disrupted taxis. Biggest taxi company in the world owns no taxis. Biggest hotel company in the world owns no hotels. And now there's a new upstart that started down, I don't know where he started, but we noticed it about a year ago. I'm like, what's this Instacart stuff? And I was just talking to Ashley about it this morning. Well, you can go on to your local grocery store. In our specific area, it's called Publix. And you can get the stuff that you want, the exact same product, and then they'll bring it to your house. I can't tell you the last time I've gone shopping in a grocery store. Maybe I went shopping in a grocery store. I can tell you, yes, I can. When my grandson came down, because none of the stuff he wants is on our list. You see, one of the things they have is an algorithm, an amazing algorithm. If I were to log on right now, I'd be ashamed, but if I logged on to Instacart and the button there goes buy again, it just brings in all the stuff that you have ordered before. You don't even shop. Yeah, I need 2 more of those. I need 1 of those. Yeah, I gotta have the cookies. Get the cookies. And you just do this, and do this. And then you go out and check out. You leave a credit card on file. And then all of a sudden, in about half an hour, they're dropping them off at your front door. I've done that while I've been on a show. While a video's playing, I'm like, let me go on Instacart right quick. Bam. And around, I'm like, did you order something? I'm like, yeah. Because the other thing is they have family shopping, which is she gets notifications if I'm going to do something. So she could also add an order too. Imagine putting an order together. Your husband's at work, you're home, and you just let him know in a text, hey, make it an Instacart order. And now you never go into the store again. You know how much time it takes to leave the house, go to the store, walk around, say hi to everybody, get back in the car, come back here, unload it. The only thing they can improve about it is just like, hey, for an extra $5, we'll even put it away in your house. Not that Robin would ever allow that, but there's some guys out there who'd be like, $5? Yeah, I'll pay the extra $5. Put that stuff away. Long story short, that's disrupting. So the Trumps came back and they looked and went, we're pushing Make in America. What can we make in America that's probably not made in America? And I undoubtedly, somebody looked down and went, you got one? Yeah, you got one. You got one. You got one. You got one. And none of them are made in America? How much you paying? How much you paying? How much you paying? That's a business. It's that simple to disrupt something. So let me just show you this article. Appeared on CNBC. Trump organization announces mobile plan and a $499 smartphone. So you get the plan and the phone. Again, this thing here is $1,000, probably more at this point. Trump organization announces mobile plan, the plan itself, and the smartphone. The Trump organization unveiled a mobile phone plan and a smartphone that is set to launch later this year. The new venture is the latest example of President Donald Trump's business empire capitalizing on its association with the sitting president. They had to put it in. They can't help themselves. The company's foray into telecommunications mainly comprises a licensing agreement. So those of you guys who have watched Shark Tank, those of you who have seen Kevin O'Leary talk, and he talks about licensing. I ain't got to do anything but put up the money. Okay, I want this much percentage. So licensing, again, isn't bad, but people don't want you to know about it. And there's President Trump. It says the Trump organization unveiled a mobile phone plan and a $499 smartphone that is set to launch in September. The new service, Trump Mobile, will offer a $47.45. You caught that, right? Y'all catch that? A $47.45 per month plan. $47.45. Let that sink in. $47.45. That includes unlimited talk, text, and data, as well as roadside assistance and a telehealth and pharmacy benefit. Wow. The company owned by President Trump also announced it will sell a T1 smartphone, which appears to feature a gold-colored metal case etched with an American flag. And there's a picture of the phone. Always scary about that part about that is, hold on, let me just tell you. I have a Samsung and it's black. And my other Samsung is black. If you're going to get a gold Trump phone, don't leave it on the table somewhere. These people may come up and try to smash it. So they better make it waterproof and damage-proof and everything else. The new venture is the latest example of Trump's business empire capitalizing on its association with the sitting president. What a crock of crap. All of us, me included, are capitalizing on the president of the United States and what he's doing. That is the stupidest thing I have ever heard. Well, it's the latest example of them capitalizing on association with the sitting president. If you're not capitalizing on his presidency, you're a flipping idiot. If you're not making money right now and capitalizing on what this man is doing, you're missing a boat. That's so stupid. Both the name of the wireless service, the 47 plan, and its monthly prices are references to Trump. A screenshot on the website of the upcoming phones displays Trump campaign slogan, "Make America Great Again." And so, I mean, it's a long article, as you can see, but suffice it to say, another way to generate money. And how can that possibly be wrong? It can't. It can't be wrong. Just